What's up, my ninjas? Master Shredder here needs a haircut, aka the Fat Sensei, aka the Fat Destroyer. Quick video while I'm on my way to work. Tell you a little bit of a story. It's story time. So I used to be an alcoholic, a full-on alcoholic. I haven't drunken for almost 2 years now, about a year and 8 months or something like that. And the reason why I'm telling you this story is I'm going to tell you how I quit alcohol and how I was able to change my life drastically in sort of just a matter of, well, maybe 6 months or so. But I'm going to tell you how I did it. And I've been getting, because I've mentioned it a few times in some of my videos, and you know, there are people who have been messaging me basically saying like, whoa, how did you quit alcohol, blah blah blah, what happened, tell me the story. So I'm going to try and make this story as short as possible but as meaningful as possible. Okay, so basically my wife left me 2017 New Year's Day, so what's that, like 6 or so years ago. Okay, and that's when I fell apart. I was running this business and it was doing well and it was helping a lot of people, but because she left, I basically quit because I got depressed. She was my life, she was everything to me. And so I quit, I was depressed, I had suicidal thoughts, I considered suicide, I basically didn't want to live anymore. I remember having just an aching heart endlessly. The pain was so bad that it was like nothing I've ever felt before. Basically, it was the most excruciating, numbing pain I've ever felt. Like I didn't even want to live anymore. I couldn't get out of bed. I mean, honestly, ask my mum. When I went back and stayed with my mum and papa, they thankfully looked after me and loved me. Anyway, long story short, I was drinking, basically turned to drink, drugs, all the rest of it, sex, and those were the only things I could find that would give me even short-term relief, you know, from what the symptoms that I was suffering. But it wasn't until I met a woman named Judy Graham, soon to be Judy Ronui. She is now the love of my life, and at first I didn't recognize her. Reason being is that I've never known someone to outlove me. Okay, what I mean by that is somebody who actually, you know the yeah nah, you know, when the yeah nah, when you get people saying yeah 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 and then really it's nah, you know, basically their words and their actions don't line up. So I know I can say something to someone and I can follow through. Like I won't say something that I can't follow through with. And this is now, I'm talking about now and my character as it is now. Back then when I was just a wild party animal, which I loved, by the way, I had heaps of fun. Like that was the period of my life that I needed to do that, because it was the only time I could actually have something like that in my life, and I loved it, you know what I mean? So I don't regret it. I'm not saying I regret doing what I did, but I'm saying I finally met a woman. I met my match, and what she outdoes me in is self-sacrificial love. That is what the world is looking for. Trust me, you could have all the money in the world, you could be the richest person in the world, and if you don't have self-sacrificial love in your life, somebody is sacrificing their own life to you, you don't know what true love is. You won't. You don't. You just never experienced it. You don't understand it, and unless you can give it, then you really don't recognize it. Okay, guys? So what I'm getting at is that if you want true love to come to you, here's the thing. Most of us grab things for ourselves and we try to take things for ourselves. It's a greedy way of doing things, and it never works. At the end of the day, everything that you try to grab and pull into yourself, not for anybody else, what it will do, it will kill you. It will kill you. Now, when you try to grab things for others and share it with others, the funny thing is, it can also kill you, and it will also kill you. For example, we grew up in a Maori household that sacrificed our lives to being hospitable to strangers. Like that's what our culture is built on. It is built on being loving towards strangers, essentially. Like every weekend at the marae, we'd be welcoming people from a distant land. We'll be turning them from from enemies into friends. That's essentially the process that we went through on the daily, almost. We lived in a communal area. There were 20 of us at one point out at Tikaroa at our papakainga. So, that process right there is what you need to get in here and in here. And if you don't get it, if you don't get that you must take foreign elements that are outside of yourself and you must integrate them into yourself, but you must integrate them in a manner that you can share them with other people. For example, you take foreign elements outside of yourself, such as from tangaroa, like fish. You go fishing, that's a foreign element that is not your body, it's not made up of your being. Okay, you take that foreign element, and the best way to integrate that foreign element is to obviously prepare it, scale it, fillet it, all the rest of it, but then sit down and share it with other people. Share it with other people. That type of kai is spiritual kai. Okay, that's what I consider spiritual kai. It is you partaking not only of this foreign element that you've turned from an enemy into your friend, because it's going to become your body. Think about that on practical scientific terms. Even you eat a fish, it becomes your body. This is not a metaphor. I'm not making up metaphors. This is not a metaphor or a simile. It is literal. Okay, if you can't get this, then you need to go back to school. The fish, you eat it, it integrates into your body, and it literally becomes your body. Your food that you take into your body, it literally, so think about it. Your body is made up of foreign elements that are outside of yourself. So that concept, you need to learn this concept. If you can grasp this concept, okay, and you can share this concept with other people, you've got it. You've got it, and it may take years to really implement the mechanisms that you need to in order to see fruitful results. But if you can get that concept of integrating a stranger in a strange land, okay, so for example, we're having a pōwhiri, we're welcoming strangers, they're strangers in a strange land. When you make them feel welcome, okay, they integrate into your whānau, and things go really well and everybody's at peace. Okay, I was brought up on one of the iconic lands of the world, which is renowned for passive resistance, peace. Tohu kākahi and Te Whiti o Rongomai were and are my tipuna. Okay, so this is a concept that truly will transform your life inside and out, if you can actually understand what I'm saying. And it sounds so simple, and the funny thing is those of you who are listening thinking this is so stupid and so simple, you've missed it. You won't get it, and you will continue to struggle trying to gain things for yourself, be it materialistic things or other things. It doesn't matter what things. Okay, you can try to gain knowledge for yourself, and if you be greedy with knowledge, you're going to see the same results, the same symptoms, and the same results is that you cannot integrate people into your life. You cannot have good relationships. And at the heart of it, when you have an intimate relationship with your husband and wife, you will fail. You will fail because even the person that is closest to you in your life is a stranger. They are not your body, they are not your mind, they are not your heart. Therefore, they are still a foreign element. And if you do not know how to integrate foreign elements into your body, you will continue to fail at life. And when I mean fail, I mean if you want to live a life that is not integrated with other people, with other humans, that you're not partaking and communicating and sharing love back and forth between other humans, if that's the life you want to live, then cool. If that's what you consider success, then cool. Go ahead and do it. But remember, everything you do has massive implications, not only for you, but for every other human being on earth. Okay? So something to think about, It's like it's like giving you license to drive like a wild fuckhead on the road here. You know, of course I'm putting other lives in danger. I'm putting other lives in danger if I don't play by the rules, if I'm not communicating with my indicators. You know, a car is just an extension of you, by the way. Technology is just an extension of you. This video is just an extension of me. Everything is an extension of you. Don't think otherwise. You know, don't blame it on don't blame it on other people. This is what I'm seeing. The reason why people are failing at their own lives, at their own transformations, they can't transform their own lives, is because they're not doing it for others. You're not doing it for strangers, for others. That's why giving to the poor, for example, giving to the poor is so important, because it's, let's say you're a well-to-do person who has worked all their life, and the way that you see the poor people is, oh, you need to get off your ass, you lazy assholes, and you need to work for your money. Do you know what you're doing? You know what you're doing in the most extreme sense? You are denying a stranger, which means you're doing the opposite of what I did when I grew up on my marae. You're basically saying, when people are extending their humanness to you, you are fucking putting a hand in their face and saying, fuck off. That's literally what you're doing when you do that to the poor. It doesn't matter who they are, they're human. Every human deserves respect, and every time a human reaches out to you, reaches out their spirit, their wairua, their soul to you, that is an opportunity for you to connect with another stranger, with another human. And then ultimately, that is how you love yourself. So if you deny the lowest in this world, you're going to be denied by the highest in this world. That's just the way it works, folks. And you know, some of this, I just don't have enough time to explain all the implications and all of the details as to how this works, because I only have limited time, and I try to cram in as much as I can, you know, to and from work. But that's how it works. If you do it, ultimately, if you do not have a process to integrate the strange elements, the stranger, and I'm talking even your own spouse, the closest person to you, say the person that you're married to, or because you're married doesn't mean you're close, doesn't mean you know how to integrate. You know, if your relationship is failing, do something about it. I've given you tips on how to do something about it. Put yourself down for once. You know, use your energy and sacrifice your energy to actually help someone, not just get something for yourself. I promise you that everybody would rather be with someone who is a giver, who is a cheerful giver, and is always glad to give to other people. Everybody wants to be around people like that. Nobody wants to be around a selfish little prick who pulls in all of life's treats and holds them for themselves, stores them up in their own little secret treasure box, and thinks that, you know, somehow you're going to be safe or you're going to be secure by doing that. You're not. You're literally causing more problems, because the more you have, the more responsibility you have. And the more responsibility you have, that's why people suffer with anxiety these days. Okay? Because responsibility causes anxiety. Anxiety is the energy that is required to perform the task necessary that's either right in front of you or in the future or even the past, you know. Basically, it doesn't matter. Time does not exist. You know, anxiety is, it could be an abstract thought. It could be a thought about the future. It could be a thought about the past. Oh, I did this, I did that. Or it could be right in your direct line of sight, you know, right in front of you on the road or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the more that you pull in for yourself, the more you will suffer with anxiety. The more you try to gain for yourself, and I'm talking everything. I'm talking knowledge, I'm talking revelation, I'm talking emotions, I'm talking money, I'm talking finances, anything in the world, anything. You can apply this to anything in the whole wide universe. Anything that you try to go out there and grasp and retain for yourself is going to kill you. Okay? That's my message. That's my message. So if you don't have a place to give to others, and I'm talking just encouraging words. I mean, look, if you don't know how to say something nice to someone, shit, you need to join our program and you need to learn. Because your life, you receive back the love that you give. Now, I'll do a separate video on how that actually works and how, it actually unfolds in our realities, so that it doesn't just sound like some airy-fairy bullshit, new agey trope. I'll do a video on that actually. That's a good idea. Because I hear that all the time. People say, you get back 10, you get the love that you give, you'll get it back. It'll come back to you, all of that. I'll explain actually how that works in the next vid, if you're keen. Peace!